Now we're finally ready to make our irresistible offer. What we did over the past couple of videos is figure out 8 different components of our offer. First, we figured out who we're selling to, which was our niche or our ideal customer. And then we figured out what problem we're solving, what the solution to that problem is, and what outcome the customer will achieve by implementing that solution inside their business. That together built our core offer. And then we added a bunch of features to make the perceived value of our offer as high as possible. What we did is we first came up with a bunch of guarantees that increased the perceived likelihood of success in the customer's eyes. Or in other words, made the customer truly believe that they're going to achieve the desired outcome, or in the worst case scenario, they're not going to lose anything in the process. Then what we did is we came up with different factors that will ensure the customer achieves that outcome as soon as possible. Because we realized the quicker the person achieves their outcome, the more valuable they see our offer. And then what we did is we came up with ways to make the process as frictionless as possible, or make the whole entire experience working with us as easy as possible for the customer. And then finally, we came up with a bunch of bonuses that we could give away to the customer that will literally get them thinking, there is no way this person is providing me so much value, and it will make our offer an actual no-brainer for the customer. Now what we want to do is we want to put together all of these different 8 components to build our AAA irresistible offer. To do that, we're going to fill up this specific template. It says, I help ICP, which is the who, with this problem, which is the problem, by this solution, which is the solution. As a result, they will achieve this outcome, which is this one here, and they will also get this, which is all of the different value maximizers that we added in order to ensure that our offer is as irresistible as possible. Now I want you guys to come over to the AAA strategy book and build your irresistible offer by filling up the variables. So change ICP to your actual ideal customer, change the problem to the problem you're solving, the solution to the solution you're offering, and the outcome to the desired outcome that you came up with. And then I want you to list all the value maximizers that you're going to have inside your offer. For example, money back guarantees, done in days, not weeks, done for you, not with you or by you, and also free this, free that, blah, blah, blah. Put down all of these inside your irresistible offer, and that will be the first draft of your AAA offer. The reason why I say first draft is because just like everything else that we've discussed and everything else in business, everything is just a hypothesis until you prove it to be true or false. And your offer is no different. What we did right now is we came up with all these things that we believe the customer will find valuable. But there's a chance that your customers just don't find it valuable. Every ICP is different and every ICP values a certain thing. What we did is we came up with a first draft or a hypothesis on things that we think will make our offer irresistible. But we want to test that and iterate that to ensure we get to the perfect offer for our specific ICP. And to do this, what we have to do is go around in an iteration cycle again. What I want you guys to do after you've created your offer is talk to 5 leads or make this offer to 5 different leads. So send out 5 different proposals to your customers. And then I want you to assess how many deals you closed and whether people were interested in the value maximizers you offered. Were people interested in the concept of it being done for you? Were people interested in the money back guarantees you offered them? Were people interested in the free automation templates that you were going to give them? See which one of those value maximizers people liked and which one of them they said, doesn't really matter, we don't care. And then based off the data you gathered from those 5 customers, I want you to go back to your irresistible offer and I want you to adjust it and come up with a new hypothesis. So this might just be you removing the things that weren't working, or it might be you coming up with new features you can add to your offer that you believe your customer would really like. And then what I want you to do is go and talk to another 5 customers and then test it again. See, okay, what did they like? What didn't they like? Let me optimize for the ones they did like and remove the ones they didn't. And over time, you'll go through this iteration loop as many times as required until you eventually have the perfect, irresistible offer. Now, not every single time you need to only talk to 5 people. If we get to a point where you're doing really well and you're really busy, well, obviously your irresistible offer might be really good, so you can increase that to 20 leads or 50 leads or 100 leads. But the idea is, don't just settle for the first thing you came up with, because it's likely that the assumptions you make is wrong. Make a hypothesis, test that out, iterate, test that out, iterate, test that out, so on and so forth, and continuously go through that iteration loop. That's how you get the perfect offer for your ideal customer. And also, I like it because it's a way of reducing your anxiety starting for the first time. If I were to tell you your offer is something that you have to stick with for the rest of the life of your business, it's going to be a much more stressful decision to make. But the reality is, in business, you're constantly going to change and optimize different parameters based off data of how customers react to things. And so realistically, your first offer isn't that important because it's very, very likely you're going to change it. So if you guys are sitting here and you're trying to figure out what the perfect offer is and you're spending hours, then what I'd recommend is just come up with anything, try it out for 5 customers and then iterate on it. Really doesn't matter. Don't get stuck trying to optimize in advance. Optimize as you go. That's how you make the perfect offer, and that's how you make the perfect marketing, and that's how you run the perfect business.